continue from where we left. We were discussing about diode models. Okay, so modeling the diode is essential to perform circuit analysis. Okay, so that is the idea. So already we are introduced to the process of analyzing circuit through ideal diode model a little bit. We'll again recapture that concept, ideal diode model. The second one, we also assumed the constant voltage, but again, I did not explain completely. So the constant voltage model is something that we will discuss in this class and compare these two and let you know how they are useful in performing circuit analysis and what is the cost of time. I mean cost analysis in the sense how much time is required to perform circuit analysis and where they will be useful, things of that nature. Now, the third one, which is more accurate method, is the iterative method. So we use the diode equation, we use the KVL, and we get the current parameter from the KVL, and then we substitute that current parameter in the diode exponential model. Okay, so actually we had also learned the exponential model. The constant diode model, constant voltage, the constant diode model, that is constant voltage drop model. We did not discuss in detail. That is something we will discuss. The iterative model is we have done. So this we know, this we know, and we took a simple circuit. Okay, we took a simple circuit, and the simple circuit is actually enables us to, just a second. Okay, the simple circuit enables us to understand these models, how these models work, things are, and the simple circuit is shown here. For example, I have this the power source, okay, and it powers the diode through a current limiting resistor, and we consider the forward characteristics in all of these cases, and we went like this. Okay, so that's the idea. So let us recall these concepts because you have been taking exams of different subjects. So some of the equations which are pertinent to this analysis will do that. So this source is actually, we indicated it as per the nomenclature provided by the course textbook, prescribed textbook, Cedra Smith, 7th edition. And this is the voltage drop across the diode. And the current obviously will move from positive to negative. So the current moves from this manner. So we have this KVL equation as, KVL equation is VDD equal to VD plus IR. Okay, current. Okay, there is no subscript required. Okay, it's the current, simply the current. I is the voltage drop across the resistor. That's all. So we have this equation from the exponential model. We already know that the current voltage characteristics is actually after the cut-in voltage, the current rises rapidly with exponential function given by I equal to okay. I will use the small letter I for to indicate that it is varying. I equal to Is exponential of V by Vt, where V is the applied voltage, Vt is the thermal voltage, Vt given by Kt by E. It's a thermal voltage. Is is the saturation current, I is the current that flows through the diode, V is the forward bias voltage. So using these two equations, we can actually use the iterative model. So if I compare all these models, let us complete this ideal diode model and constant voltage model to begin with. After that, the exponential model is good. Okay, that is knowing the forward applied voltage, we can know the current that flows through, provided we know the diode characteristic in terms of its diffusion length and the diffusion coefficient and constant. Okay, and then the doping levels, if you know, and the mobility, we can actually find the current Is. And then once I know the Is, then it makes, and also of course I need to know at what temperature I am operating, because Is will be a function of temperature. So then we can actually find the current that flows through the diode using this equation. But this equation, represents the non-linearity of the diode function. Remember the word non-linearity. We want to, if I want to apply Ohm's law and perform simple analysis, then I need to get this approximation exponential model in such a manner that I am able to get to the application of Ohm's law in circuit analysis with diodes. So that is, with that idea, we'll move further. Okay, let us talk about this. What is this constant? Constant voltage model. Because iterative model we actually discussed in the last class. That is where we ended. Okay, so I will come back to that with a problem and compare these two. See, iterative model, what you saw was that it is little cumbersome until you keep going back and forth between those two equations, namely the exponential model equation and the KVL equation, and then try to find a value which actually it is zeroing on a particular value of current that flows through the diode and the voltage drop. Okay, so which means you have to go back and forth. That is called the process of iteration. Okay, we exemplified that through a problem. We will again do that little bit shortly now. But that is required when you require accurate analysis. So when you require accurate analysis, very accurate analysis, if you want, you must use iterative method. This is for performing accurate analysis. But if I want to do, okay, but this is time consuming. That also must be written here. Is the disadvantage with this method time consuming because of the fact that you have to perform several iterations to get concordant values. Several iterations you have to perform. Several iterations to perform for obtaining the exact values, the exact voltage drop. Across the diode. And the current flowing through it. So the cost of analysis is quite high. Okay, that is the thing. Now, do I require? The question is how accurate analysis has to be performed. Okay, if it is a simple circuit, it is okay, fine. But if it is a complex circuit, okay, involving multiple diodes, like the ones we did in the class, then performing this iterative method is going to be, cumbersome and not always necessary. Okay, so if you look at complex circuits, we want to actually, let us say, I want to know whether that particular diode is on or off. Then if I don't have to do the entire accurate analysis. All I need to know is whether the diode is in the forward bias, okay, allowing the current to flow through, or it is in open mode. If I need to know only that kind of analysis, then I don't have to go for this kind of cumbersome analysis, especially difficult for complex circuits. So given that, we have another option, what is called constant voltage drop model. I have already stated that for any diode, okay, the voltage drop actually is typically in this range, 0.6 to 0.9 or more often it is 0.8 volts, depending on the voltage. Okay, so with this voltage drop across the diode, okay, we can more or less assume that on an average, for performing quick analysis, we can use VD 0.7 volt, okay, unless otherwise stated in a problem, and then perform analysis. So it's a very quick method. For example, if I have a circuit like this, let us see this. So this is a 1 kilo ohm. Say this is 5 volt. And this is my diode connected in forward bias. Now, if I want to find the current that flows through this, all I need to do is use simple equation, which is if I use the applying constant voltage model, forward model, I will get the current that flows through the diode, ID as actually 5 minus 0.7 divided by 1 kilo ohm resistor, which is 1 into 10 power 3. So that is equivalent to 4.3 milliampere. Okay. Now you look at the same problem when we did last time. We actually got with iterative method something like this. Okay, something like 4.268 or something, and then some 0.74 or something it came. Okay, it was not exactly 0.7, but it was little more. Obviously, it will be lesser current, so therefore it will be, I think, 0.74 volt, something like that, if I remember correctly. So these two values are not far from this 0.7. You compare these values with VD equal to 0.7 volt and ID equal to 4.3. So this the method which is called constant voltage drop model. Constant voltage. So by application of constant voltage drop model, we are able to get the current that flows through the diode in single step. for the diode. We are able to get the current. Compared to this, we are not losing anything over here. Okay, we are not lost much of the information. It's almost very close to each other, and this kind of tolerances is okay when you were to look at a complex circuit where you really do not worry about actually this. So how do I draw this constant voltage? So it is like this. Pictorially, we can represent this manner. So this is my, let us say this is my current voltage characteristic. So this is my forward bias voltage applied, and the exponential model tells me the current goes like this. This is my exponential model. Current voltage relationship, I voltage relationship, exponential model. Now, if I were to use the same thing with a constant voltage drop model, then I will have the current. There is absolutely no current that flows through because it acts as open, and then moment you have the current that flows through, it will be the constant voltage will be like this. Okay, I have to draw a straight line. Okay, so this is a straight line, and this is my, so it's like this straight. So for voltages exceeding forward bias voltages exceeding 0.7 volt, the diode starts to conduct. So we see a current that flows through the circuit, and that is like this. So depending on the resistor value. Okay. So as I increase the, so it doesn't matter. So this is my stuff with that. Okay. So that is the idea. Okay. So with that thing, we will see that we are going to get this constant voltage. Okay. Now let us look at this problem and try to understand how we are able to, let us get back. You will understand this effectiveness of this model when you look at the a problem. Okay, let us do a quick problem, and just a second. So given a circuit like this, let us say I have a circuit like this. I have a circuit like this, and say this is my 5 volt, and this is say 10 kilo ohm, and I have a diode connected. Okay. Let me redraw that. So I have a circuit like this. And say this is my the diode that is connected in forward bias. So obviously this is positive, this is my negative, this is my resistor, and the current limiting resistor value is like say 10 kilo ohm, and the source voltage is 5 volt. Let us find the current ID and VD using the exponential model, and using the iterative method. Okay, to perform accurate analysis and the constant voltage drop model, and find what do we get. Okay, so the diode is rated. The diode is rated to pass 1 milliampere current at 0.7 volt. Okay, so that's a given thing. So with this, let us have this, and we need to perform analysis to determine ID, the current through the diode, and VD accurately. Accurately means basically we have to go to using iterative method. And then we also need to compare the answer, compare with the constant voltage drop model. So this idea. So let us look at this iterative method. And the iterative method, we must employ these two equations. So the KVL says ID will be equivalent to VDD minus VD by R. So then this is the equation that we use to find the current that flows through the diode, and then V2 minus V1 from the exponential model, we get the V2 minus V1 equal to 60. Okay, 60 log of I2 by I1. This is the exponential model equation. Okay, this came from that KT by V, and at room temperature, we assume that this is like 47 degree. We take that as 60. Okay, you get that. You convert it into natural log, and then you have to multiply 2.3 with that VT. You will get this value 60. Okay, and remember that this is 60 is in millivolt. So remember that. Okay, so this stuff is in millivolt 60. That's very important. Now, having said that, so let us go with this equation to find ID. Step 1. So iterative method we are doing. ID equal to 5 volt minus 0.7. I have assumed. Okay, and I get roughly about something like 0.7, and then we do how much it is. R is 10 kilo ohm, 10 into 10 power 3, that is equivalent to 4.3 divided by, so 0.43 milliampere ID. So step 2, V2 equal to, we use the exponential model equation, V2 equal to V1. I have taken the V1 on the other side, so it becomes actually V1 plus, let me write the equation again, log I2 by I1, and this becomes actually V1 is roughly about 0.7 volt. That's what is given, but we need to find the accurate value. Okay, so 0.7 volt plus 60 log of, because we are using V1 as 0.7, so we will have to use the I1 as 1 milliampere, and this fellow will be I2. I2 will be 0.43. Substitute here, you will get some answer. Let us see what is the answer you get. The answer for that will be, I can give you straight away. The answer for that will be 0.678 volt. This answer you will get, because it is log of 0.43 will be negative. You multiply by 60, but remember this is in millivolt. You have to divide by 1000. Okay, this term is in millivolt. Remember that. Okay, so V2 minus V1, this unit of this fellow is in millivolt. Whereas if I am using volt here, I have to be careful. That's the thing. 0.678 volts you will get, and then you substitute this 0.678 in the KVL equation again. So first iteration is over. We go to the second iteration. Performing second iteration, we retrace our step 1 again, which means go to the step 1, ID we find. ID will be, in this case, will be 5 minus 0.678 divided by R, which is 10 into 10 power 3. And there you will get roughly about how much you will get? 0.432, or how much you will get? 678, right? 0.422, right? Uh, 432, because this is 5, so it obviously becomes 0.678, 2, 2, 3, 432. That's the answer you will get. Okay. This is 5, but 4 point, and then you divide by 10, you will get this in milliampere. So this is the answer you will get. You substitute back here on this equation. So go back to step 2 again. The step 2 is the exponential model equation. Go back to for the second iteration. We will get V2 will be equal to, now V1 will be 0.678. We have to use that value from the first iteration. So it is like the iteration process. So you have gone up to some place, take from that as the base step, you go to the next step until you converge to the point. So 0.678 plus 60 millivolt log of 0.432 divided by 0.43. Remember to be careful here with I1 and I2, because the new I1 and the new V1 becomes 0.678. Those are the results obtained from the first iteration. So if we substitute here V2, you will get close to 0.678 again. 0.678 to 1 or something, which is close to this value in the first iteration. Therefore, we stop the iterative method, and this is accurate enough. Okay, so when the current iteration value is equivalent to the very nearly equal to the decimal accuracy that we are shooting for to the previous iteration, then we understand that the iteration is complete and we have got a convergence. Okay, that is the idea. So we have got the correct value. That's the most important thing. Now, with this in mind, let us go back to what do we see in the constant voltage drop model. Very simple. Constant voltage drop model will give me 5 minus 0.7 divided by 10 into 10 power 3. This is a constant voltage drop model. The current flowing through will be, then I get actually 4.3, so 0.43. And how different is this result from 0.432? How different? They are not very different. Okay, this is in almost close to 2. I mean, it's like 0.432, right? So 0.432 milliampere. So basically it is 2 microampere. right? So you have to understand that I am able to get to the, even with one step, I am able to get, and for very quick analysis. So the need for complex circuit requires the rapid analysis. So constant voltage drop model is one. Now what about the ideal model? Because we have already done this ideal diode model. So I will quickly get this answer over here. Ideal model, if you are to look at it, 5 minus, here in ideal diode model, we assume the voltage drop across the diode under forward bias is 0. That's idea. Okay, so we have already seen this. So ideal diode model, if I were to draw the curve, it will be like this. So this is my reverse bias. No current flows through. In the forward bias, the diode is on and the current flows through, and this is my axis. On the axis I, this is my voltage. Whereas in the constant voltage drop model, it will be a different color, different. I will plot it in the same stuff. That's idea. So here, it will become actually in the constant voltage drop model. I will have like this. Current going, and this is at 0.7 volt. This is at 0. So here, when I substitute, I will get 10 into 10 power 3. That will be equivalent to 5, 0.5 milliampere. So you compare 0.5 milliampere with 0.43 milliampere obtained using constant voltage model. And 0.432 milliampere with iterative method. Because our circuit was very simple, we could do the iterative method and converge to a value quickly. The constant voltage is very good approximation to the iterative. Yeah, gross estimate is actually your ideal diode, where the voltage drop across the diode is assumed to be 0. So think about this, and what I want you to tell is, in a complex circuit like we have done in the class, if there are multiple diodes and I want to know which of the diodes are in forward bias and conducting, I want to perform a quick analysis whether the diode is on or off. The first analysis I will perform with the ideal diode model, and from there I will get into the constant voltage drop model. I think that will be fair enough, because iterative method is like the more accurate method. When you require to that level of tolerance, then you go into that iterative method for the devices. I hope I have made the point clear. I wanted to do one more problem, but we will take it up some other time. Tomorrow we'll go into the small signal model, and then we'll try to wind up the diode models by tomorrow, following which we'll take up the because in the models we have analyzed the working of the diode under forward bias thoroughly. Now the next obvious logical will be to go into the working of the diode under reverse voltage, and under reverse voltage we look at the use of the operation of the diode in the breakdown region, and there we will come across the new diode concept called the Zener diode. Okay, we'll take one step at a time and we'll complete that in the following class. Okay, so let us, so tomorrow will be small signal model, extremely very important. So don't miss the class. Okay, just a minute.